So this is a video about how to complete a coaching observation on Powerful Action Steps. So the front page of Powerful Action Steps looks like this. This is my page. This is the person that mentors me, and this is my most recent action step. This is the person that I mentor, and this is their most recent action step. Let's say I want to mentor Nadia, so I click the Observe button. What comes up is a pretty standard 4-step coaching form. So Year 10. Class English. This is the most recent action step, so I'm going to begin by having a look at this action step and thinking about whether it's achieved. If I click not achieved, the action step rolls over and I have the opportunity to edit it, but basically I'm going to set a similar action step again. If I click achieved, I am going to set a new action step. I can write some evidence here about the kind of things that I've seen. At this point, I'm going to give a piece of praise. So given that this is my action step, I'm going to say something like, it was really effective to see you using ... So I'm going to talk about this, and then I'm going to ask a question like, how well do you think it worked? Now, the reason why I script to this level of detail is because if I'm feeding back 3 or 4 days later or even a week, this helps me remember exactly what I want to say, which obviously is going to come out best when I'm fresh in the lesson. The next thing I'm going to do is start looking at the lesson and think about the next thing I want to do. I'm going to take notes here about what I see. There's space for me to write down evidence, pieces of things I've seen in work, things I've seen students say, things I've seen teachers say or do. Once I kind of have an idea about what I want to do, I'm going to go into Powerful Action Steps, and I'm going to select the next thing I want to set. So Nadia and I are working on robust vocabulary instruction in English. So I'm going to think actually there probably is an issue with how she introduces word meanings. Specifically, I think her definitions are not student friendly. So I think she's not telling students how to use the words. So I'm going to give an action step which is give guidance on parameters of use. In other words, when and how a word occurs in language. And then there's some more action steps here. So this is more precise. Explain the context in which a word is and is not used. And this is the practice task which goes with it. Confirm choices. Now if I want to change that a little bit, I can click to edit the action step, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, well, I know someone really good at doing explaining the context of words, and I'm going to see you same time next week. Now I know what the action step is. I'm going to write some probing questions. So these are questions which I can ask about what I've seen in the lesson, which would guide Nadia to think this was an important thing for her to work on. So I could say, well, I know that you taught the word tame, however students were misusing the word. Why do you think that is? And I could script my questions again. Scripting is really important because in a week later I'm not going to remember the detail of the lesson, and I'm not going to be able to ask good questions that guide Nadia to be reflective and to see the kind of the rationale for this action step. Once I have done, I have two options. I can save the draft, which means maybe I want to come back, think about it and edit later, or I can save the form. Now that won't send yet. If I click save, then what will happen is that this box, and I'm not going to be able to show you that because I don't want to send Nadia her observation because I'm going to see her for real tomorrow. This box will become two boxes which will turn green and say feedback. If I click the feedback box, Nadia gets sent the form, and I will see the form as a feedback script which comes up on my screen here, and then I can deliver the feedback to Nadia, and she then gets the feedback as a notification up here, and she also gets sent an email that I've sent it. So that is how you send an observation on Powerful Action Steps.